Hey, ever feel like you want to make your writing sharper, clearer, and just more professional, like right now? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to unlock the power of punctuation.
Think about it. Do your emails or messages ever feel like they're just not quite hitting the mark? Like something gets lost in translation between your brain and the screen? The fix usually isn't about using bigger, fancier words. It's about mastering the small stuff. It's about punctuation. So we're going to stock up your writing toolkit with 4 super powerful punctuation marks. I promise getting a handle on these is going to completely change how you communicate. Let's dive in with the first tool.
First up is the most common, and maybe the most misunderstood, tool in the entire box, the humble comma.
So its main job is actually pretty simple. It's all about creating little pauses to separate ideas and bring in some much-needed order and clarity. Think of it like a conductor for your sentence, telling the reader exactly when to slow down and take a breath. It really guides the whole rhythm.
The comma basically has 4 superpowers. First, the classic, separating items in a list. Easy enough. Second, it connects 2 related ideas. Third, and this one is so important, it fences off extra info that isn't essential. See that example? Who lives in Paris is just extra detail. You could literally take it out, and the sentence, my brother is a doctor, still works perfectly. And finally, it gives a nice little pause after an introduction, before you get to the main event of the sentence.
All right, let's grab our second tool, inverted commas. You probably know them better as quotation marks.
These little guys have 2 really distinct but equally important jobs. They can either cage the exact words someone said, preserving them perfectly, or they can act like a little spotlight, shining a light on a specific word you want everyone to pay attention to.
So here are those 2 uses in action. The first one is super straightforward. You're just quoting someone directly. But that second one, that's where things get fun. By putting too busy in quotes, you're basically signaling sarcasm or doubt. You're hinting, yeah, he said he was too busy, but I'm not buying it. See? It adds a whole new layer of meaning.
Okay, tool number 3 is the colon. This one is all about building anticipation. I like to think of it as the drumroll of punctuation.
Seriously, thinking of it as a signpost is the perfect analogy. The colon is basically yelling, get ready, the important stuff is coming right up. It makes this really direct link between what you just said and what you're about to reveal.
And here are its 3 main gigs. It can kick off a list of items, like in that first example. It can introduce an explanation that solves a little mystery, like in the second sentence. Or it can formally present a quotation. The key in all 3 cases is that the part before the colon is a complete thought, and the colon just opens the door to the details.
And our final tool for today is the dash. Look, if the comma is subtle and polite, the dash is dramatic. It's kind of a show-off, but, in the best way. The key word here is emphasis. A comma sort of gently sets information aside, but a dash busts into the sentence and yells, hey, pay attention to this part. It's way more forceful and creates a much bigger break in the flow.
Just look at how these 2 sentences work. They're both adding the exact same information, right? But the dash makes who you met last week feel like a relevant, spoken interruption. The parentheses, on the other hand, make it feel more like a quiet, whispered secret. The dash keeps the info right in the mix, just with a lot more punch.
The dash is also amazing for creating a dramatic pause right before you reveal the punchline, like in that milk example. And it's perfect for capturing how we actually think, with these sudden breaks and changes in direction. It just makes your writing feel so much more dynamic and real. Okay, you've got the tools. Now let's put them to work. It's time for a quick quiz to see what's sticking. You ready for this? First up, a little matching game. Take a quick look. Which mark sets off extra info? Which one is for direct speech? Which introduces a list? And which one adds that extra thought or pause? Okay, let's see. The comma sets off info. The inverted commas are for speech. The colon introduces the list. And the dash adds that extra thought. Hope that was a good warm-up. All right, next question. Look really closely at this sentence. He packed 3 items for the trip. It's clearly setting up a list, right? But a really important piece of punctuation is missing. What is it?
Yes, it's the colon. That phrase, 3 items for the trip, is a complete idea that perfectly sets up the list. The colon is the perfect signpost to lead us right to it. Last question for you, and it's a quick one. True or false, you can use those little quotation marks to show that you're being ironic or sarcastic. What do you think?
100% true, just like we saw in that too busy example earlier. Using inverted commas like this is such a subtle but really powerful way to add a whole other layer of meaning to your writing.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's that punctuation isn't just about following a bunch of boring rules. It's about making sure your ideas land with total clarity, professionalism, and real impact. You now officially have 4 fantastic tools in your writer's toolkit. So the only question left is, which one are you going to start using, like consciously, to level up your writing first? Think about it and start practicing today. Thanks so much for hanging out.